Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 712. Do I have toothpaste on my Yeah, I think I've got toothpaste. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Guess what? Yesterday was trash day. Guess what I forgot to do? Fortunately, yesterday was only trash day, so I'm not in trouble. It's when it's recycle day. That's when I get in trouble. So I forgot to take the trash out. But there's plenty. I can go 2 weeks. We can go 2 weeks with the trash without taking the trash out. But it's the recycling. And I think we've talked about this here in the chat where recycling should be weekly and trash day should be every other week because we have way more in our recycle bin. In fact, my wife has priced out a second recycling bin. It's $60, which it's like, okay, but where do you put it? Where do you put it? So, welcome to the chat. We've got a lively chat already. Ed, what's up? Good morning. Jenny, good morning to you. George is with us. Terry, what's happening? Johnny Boy Cards is here. David, Brian, Andrew. John says I'm inflating my couch. I don't know. Was that in a private chat or was that on Twitter? A $7,000 inflatable couch. Inflatable. You dip. Stacks and packs, what's happening? Dan, good evening to you. John said, if you had kids in diapers, then you wouldn't be advocating alternating trash weeks. Hey, that's a good point. That is a very good point. Because my little 10-pound dog does not poop as much as a little 10-week-old or whenever babies poop a lot in their diapers. Whatever age that is. I'm assuming 10 weeks, they're pooping a lot. I don't know. Speaking of poop, did you think we were going there this morning? Did you see the Russell? And I haven't. I saw like a blurb about Russell Wilson is on a, and I don't know, is this a joke? I had to look at the calendar. Is this April 1st? I think it was in The Athletic. At least that's what the tweet. Don't believe everything you read and see on the internet, but something about Russell Wilson's diet where he only poops on Tuesdays and Thursdays. What kind of life is that? That doesn't seem healthy. Although what he says is, I don't know. I'll have to read the article. I think I still subscribe to The Athletic. Let me see. Let's just Google Russell Wilson poop. Let's see. Okay, so apparently, okay, there it is again. The Athletic Premium Plus interview with Russell Wilson. Hacking his body's need to poop is literally unreal. The Russell Wilson diet. He hacked his body not to poop. That is just insane. That is absolutely crazy. So let's try to see if there's any details. Let's see. Where's it at? I'm on thesportsrush.com is in an interview with The Athletic, Wilson revealed that he even takes care of his body waste, limiting the number of times he has to poop as he considers it to be a waste of time. Come on, you've got to multitask in the bathroom. Come on, man. He also finds having internal waste to be advantageous. Wilson's life is a continuous battle against what he calls wasted seconds. The biggest culprits are eating, sleeping, and yes, using the facilities. That damn eating and sleeping part of life. It's theoretically possible to design a diet and fitness routine so efficient that your body no longer creates waste. Wilson says as he downloads his number 2 app onto my phone. We have an app for everything these days. I might wear number 2 on my chest, but my goal, this is why I thought it was a joke. I might wear number 2 on my chest, but my goal is to reduce my need to BM down to once a week. Right now, I'm in a loading phase where I only allow myself to make. He craps on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's really improved my energy levels and sex drive, plus the internal waste provides more cushioning against the violent impacts I see on Sundays. Like, come on. This has got to be a joke, Russell Wilson. So apparently it was real. He's got to be like joking. He's got to be like playing a trick on whoever wrote this article for The Athletic. The sex bot. We're talking about poop, and the sex bots have arrived. Let's see. So thank you, Andrew, for getting rid of the sex bots. John says he's full of crap at least 5 days a week, so it makes sense. Let's see. Dan says, good morning. I was searching for a Couch People hoodie, and that couch popped up. The $7,000 inflatable couch. There needs to be a Couch People. If anybody could design, I think it would be cool to have like a couch and then people on the couch. And then like in little letter, almost like a kind of like in a friend, like I think the lettering would be in like Friends, like Couch People. And then just have a couch with a few people on the couch. Couch People. Let's see. John says I'm closing back in on the diaper years. It's their bookends. Something sports cards. What's happening? Dan says I thought you were going to mention him doing stretching on the team plane while everyone else was relaxing. That was part of the. I think that was early in the. That was I think Ian Rappaport. No, Zach Stevens tweeted that. Russell Wilson worked out and stretched for 4 of the 8 hours on the flight from Denver to London. Said he was doing high knees in the aisle when the rest of the guys were asleep. Russell Wilson, robot. Let's see. Jenny says, this may not be the morning show for me. Russell Wilson's poop, right? Stacks and Pack says he's weird. Ed says, Google Russell Wilson's poop just made me spit out my coffee all over my desk. Brian, what's happening? Let's see. Where we at? Let's see. Paige and Deanie Bean loves the wiki reads. George says poop brings the sex bots. Apparently, violent thrusts he gives Sierra. Oh, I did say sex drive. I did say the S word. Russell definitely isn't a couch person. Apparently not. Couch people are sleeping on that plane. 8-hour flight. We're sleeping for 7. I can't sleep at takeoff. But once we get to that like cruising altitude, then I can sleep. John says German sex bots, I suppose. Matt, my buddy Matt's in the house. What's up, Matt? Joe says this is a crappy start. Yeah, what a shitty way to start your morning. Mark Hoyle, what's up? Dan says I need full body photos of couch people sitting and standing to edit them around the couch. Brian says, I don't know how to pronounce this. Kombucha cured my stomach issues. 1 to 2 bottles a day. Interesting. There would need to be a John Nolan Drive sign above the couch. There you go. Zach and Porter, what's happening? Dude, stop forgetting trash day. I'm concerned. I know my wife goes, yesterday morning, did you take out the trash? I forgot. This is only, I guess I did forget. Here's the thing. I haven't forgot trash day as much working from home. Although recently, and I blame because when I forget, it's when I'm like down in the basement shipping or sorting Goodwill pallets. So I think that's why I forgot yesterday. I think in the excitement of another Goodwill pallet, I forgot to take the trash out. And it's only trash week. So trash week, it's like, yeah, we can go another week. But it's that's the important one. And when I forgot that, I was like probably literally sweating. Because I feared my wife, because we're always overflowing the recycle bin. Dan forgot to tell you, set an alarm for the night and time you need to take out the trash. So I thought I hacked the trash day. I thought that it's Tuesday. I'll just take the trash out on Tuesday. And then for whatever reason, I wasn't even doing anything Tuesday night. So it's not like maybe that's why I forgot, because if we go out and we haven't played trivia in a while, we usually Tuesdays is our trivia night. I thought we would be playing more now that the weather sucks. That I come home and it's like, oh, it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I'll take the trash out. I have too many Gaylords on the brain. So I picked up my Goodwill pallet yesterday. Speaking, this has nothing to do with Goodwill pallets. Kind of trash, I guess. So let's see. Adventures with Queen Lost Souls crew. Good morning. What's up? So I went grocery shopping yesterday, and I found, like, on an end cap, not in a refrigerator. Now I'm thinking, was it in a refrigerator? Not in a freezer, but just like sitting on a shelf, a dry shelf in the grocery store. Jimmy Dean turkey, sausage, egg, and cheese bites. And I'm like, hey, 19 grams of protein in one of these small cups. They're already cooked. You just throw them in the microwave for like 45 seconds. I'm like, oh. So as I was unloading groceries yesterday, I'm thinking, well, this is weird. I wonder why this was not in the refrigerator. So I just put them in my pantry, not thinking. And then this morning, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to talk about these Jimmy Dean sausage bites, and I'm going to have one here on the show, and I'm going to see if they're good or not. And I put them in the microwave, and as I because you have to tear the top off. What's up, Herman? And I put them in the microwave, turn the microwave on. And then I looked at and I'm like, meat, egg, and cheese. This should be refrigerated. Why is this not refrigerated? And it's been in my pantry overnight. And I think it was in the grocery store, like not in a refrigerator. This seems like it should be refrigerated. And now I'm like a little concerned. So I Googled. That's why I was 3 minutes late, because I was upstairs Googling Jimmy Dean sausage bites. And so I looked, and it's like some stores have them in the freezer, which it's like, oh crap. And then others say refrigerated. So I looked on the package, and it does say keep refrigerated until consumption or whatever it is. So I threw them away. I put them in the garbage disposal because I don't want to get food poisoning. Is when I have a pallet of cards in the back of my SUV. I have a rec room just piled with boxes of cards. I have shipping that I need to do. And so I didn't want to get sick off of eating meat, egg, and cheese that's been sitting overnight. So I put the other one in the refrigerator, but it's like it's sat out overnight. Or who knows? I'm pretty sure I should go back to the grocery store today and be like, why is meat, egg, and cheese doesn't seem like it should be sitting on a shelf, not in a refrigerator. So I did not eat any. You can call me Diva, LOL. My name is a mouthful. So the Goodwill pallet, picked it up yesterday. This is the 8th pallet. What's up, Christian? So this is the 8th pallet that I've bought from Goodwill. Pallet of cards. And Christian says, great advice. When in doubt, throw it out. Yeah, I'm not going to take the chance. I'm sure it still tastes good, but it may cause me the anti-Russell Wilson. I may be the anti-Russell Wilson and be taking lots of poops. TMI. So 8th Goodwill pallet of the year. They were coming pretty fast, like once a month. Now it's been about every 6 weeks or so that I have a new pallet. So I picked it up, and I had a good conversation with the shipping guy. And of course, this is the 8th time that he's loaded, or not loaded me up, but he's brought the pallet out. So he brings it up, and the FedEx came at the same time. So I think they ship some stuff that they sell through FedEx also. So the FedEx guy, I'm loading up my cards in the back of my car, and the shipping guy was wearing a shirt, and the FedEx guy asked him what the shirt was, and he goes, "Oh, it's Danhausen. He's a wrestler." And I'm like, I popped. I popped. I'm like, Danhausen, yes. And he's like, you know Danhausen? I'm like, I know Danhausen. Not personally, but I'm a big AEW fan. So he's like, oh, I've got 10 t-shirts. I'm on his Patreon. I met him in Oshkosh, and I'm like, oh, I was there the night before for the Eric Bischoff podcast. back in May or June, whenever that was. So we had, so I was like not, we were like in the midst of wrestling talk, John's favorite. So we were talking wrestling, we were talking AEW, Danhausen. He's also in this, he may be the only Pretty Peter Avalon fan. I don't think I've ever met anybody that's like, yeah, I'm a big Peter Avalon fan. Like, oh, I've never heard that before. That's like, just for those that don't watch current wrestling, if you watched wrestling in the 80s, that'd be like somebody saying, I'm a big Steve Lombardi fan. I'm a big Iron Mike Sharp fan. Because Peter Avalon, like, usually only wrestles on like the YouTube shows, and he's like the enhancement talent, aka a jobber. Christian says, how do you coordinate getting a whole pallet from Goodwill? So some stores, and it varies from store to store, region to region. Some regions sell by the pallet. So, and they all kind of work like, going to a Goodwill asking if they sell pallets is like going to your post office clerk and asking them to explain eBay standard envelope. Most of them are going to be like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what that is. So that's the thing. Goodwill has auctions. Goodwill.com, I think, is the website. So there are auctions, but they may not be within 2,000 miles of where you live. It just kind of depends. Nukes Cards, what's up? Victor, good morning to you. A fluffer. A fluffer. So usually when I pick up these Goodwill pallets, I kind of like look to see, like, if there's binders, I'll kind of flip through the binders just to see, and it's like, oh, there's 2011 Topps baseball. Maybe there's a Mike Trout rookie. Or, ooh, there's early 2000s football. Maybe there's a Brady. I haven't found any Brady. I'm actually surprised that I haven't found like Michael Jordan. I'm not surprised there hasn't been. Now, some of the pallets have had a lot of Michael Jordan cards, but they're like, the 91 Fleer, 91 Upper Deck, stuff like that. Nothing early. There's actually not, I haven't found like really any early basketball cards from maybe a smattering of late 70s Topps, but no 86 Fleer at all, like not even beat up commons. And I don't think I found any like 87 or even 88 Fleer basketball. So I'm not surprised that there's no like early Jordans. I did find the Mike Trout rookie card in pallet. I think that was my first pallet. I think it was my first pallet, beginner's luck, I guess. And I found some Kobe rookie, and I found 2 Kobe rookies in the same pallet, which was like pallet number 6, I think. Pallet number 7 was a dud. My last pallet was a dud. The video I did with the WNBA cards, that was like, and I probably made a profit off the WNBA cards, were pretty close. But there was really nothing else in that pallet. There was a ton of just junk. And I'm talking like, and you know how I like junk. This is like junk that I'm pulling Cubs and the rest goes in a bulk sale. Like, not even, like, there would be 91 Fleer, but it was stripped of like every star. Like, not even Jose Canseco, not Mark McGuire. Like, there was probably, out of 50,000 cards, I probably had a pile of 200 that I would list on eBay, and they were like Greg Jeffries or Andres Galarraga, like just random cards that it's like, man, I need to put something on eBay out of here. So those just go in the bulk sale. So usually I scratch the service when I'm loading in. And I kind of look through the binders, or if it's like a Ziploc bag. So I just kind of get an idea of what's in there. Diva's like and shared, but I'm going to head out. Thank you, Diva. I appreciate that. So I kind of look through, but I was talking wrestling. So I wasn't really paying attention to what I was loading in, but I did see there were some Star Wars cards, some 1977 Star Wars cards in a baggie. And what did I say? I think I said yesterday, usually the best stuff out of the Goodwill pallets comes in either binders or like Ziploc bags, like not protected, Just that's usually where the best stuff comes. And so far, and again, I've only scratched the surface with what I found. And it's been in a binder, and then the Star Wars cards came in that baggie. So so I was looking through, and I'll get those plaques, that were really popular in the early 90s. So there were like 3 plaques. I think there was a Cub plaque, actually. I think there was a Sandberg plaque. There was a Reggie White plaque, maybe Brett Favre. And there was a frame with Green Bay Packers playoff tickets. Playoffs? And I'm like, oh, what's this? And they were like unused. And it was like, let me go get it. Okay, and I picked up another binder because I wanted to show off the binder. So this is what the pack. It's in a frame. Ouch. It's in a frame, and it's looks like Jim Lawler maybe worked in some capacity with the Packers. So there's a handwritten year on the back of the frame, 1993-94. So likely 94. NFC playoffs. Jim Lawler, program sellers, complimentary. So comp tickets. So I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool, unique. So I put it in. There's a great, if you're interested in tickets, there's a good group. It's called Boogers Ticket Stubs. We're talking about poop and boogers this morning. Boogers Ticket Stubs on Facebook. So I popped in there, and I'm like, hey, I acquired this in a collection. I have no idea what it is. There's nothing comparable on eBay. So somebody said, oh, it's just a Phantom. They're worthless. Well, it's not worthless. I could probably sell this for $20. I don't know. But it's pretty cool. It's unique. Dan had 2 windows open. There you go. John says echoes are a COVID side effect, or maybe the other C word. Anyone else? Okay. Andrew says, Bo, is Ripapalooza still going to happen? You should have a practice round before December, a couple of packs. Yes, Ripapalooza is going to happen. I'm just not sure. I need to, I still haven't found out when the Club 400 Christmas party is. And I think, I tried looking that up the other day. I'm pretty sure the Club 400 Christmas party's on Friday, December 9th. So I want to do Ripapalooza on December 10th. So yes, it's still going to happen. I just need to figure out if it's not going to be on December 10th, it will be another day. And maybe December 9th if it's not December 10th. I'm just scrolling through. I know it's on here somewhere, Brendan, because Brendan Davis. Oh, hey, no, we're good. The Christmas party's December 2nd, Friday, December 2nd. So yes, so I can actually start promoting that. So Ripapalooza will be Saturday, December 10th here on my YouTube channel. I will be using StreamYard. Y'all are invited to jump on the stream anytime you want. So I will be utilizing StreamYard. And we'll be going for like hours because it's a palooza, and paloozas go for hours. I think that's like the definition of palooza. So we're going to do a Ripapalooza. I don't even know if that's going to be, I think I had another name for it because I didn't want to use palooza. But I can't remember what the, John says he only rips on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm going to go on StreamYard Saturday, December 10th, and we'll probably go start early. So 3-4 o'clock, depends. So Dan says, do you have more than those 8 boxes of Bowman U behind you? Nope, just 8 boxes. I'm down to 8 blaster boxes of Bowman U. So I'll probably just save those for Ripapalooza. So and I have Bowman U to rip. I have Illusions football from last year, like a mega box. I've got a couple NBA hoops holiday boxes from last year. I've got a Donruss basketball mega box. I think I've got some like prestige hanger boxes, football. I've got a couple overtime elite tops chrome blasters. I've got a couple Bowman U basketball blasters. I've got a hobby box of 2020 tops update, hobby boxes of heritage miners, my jumbo boxes of pro debut. I'll save at least one for Ripapalooza. I've got Bowman mega boxes from last year's Bowman and Bowman Chrome. I've got a Bowman Chrome hobby box from last year. I've got mega boxes from this year, Bowman. And let's see, I also have just some random like packs, loose packs that I might throw in, some non-sports packs. Remember nostalgia rips that I never carried out really, really well. So I'll have some of those that we'll just throw like ripping packs. Rip and dip. There you. That's actually that works because it's gonna be one of those like when I was growing up, we had Christmas parties where it was like you just came and went. It was like uh is it buffet? I don't know buffets, but it was like it wasn't it wasn't like we're eating at 1 o'clock. Come over at 1 o'clock and like this sit down formal. Like we didn't do that. We just like come over whenever you want. There's gonna be food. There's gonna be cooler a bush light. We're gonna have a good old time. That's how I grew up, and that's what I prefer. So that's what we're gonna do on Ripapalooza. We're not gonna set a time. We're not gonna go 4 o'clock. You must be. Please be in the room at 3:45 for our 4 o'clock start. No, no. We're just going to start whenever the hell we want, and you're going to join whenever the hell you want, and you're going to leave whenever the hell you want. There's no formalities to Ripapalooza. That's another thing. Paloozas. They're hours long, and there's no rules. Ripapalooza, Saturday, December 10th. Let's see. Brian's going to be 61 on December 9th. So, Brian, you're welcome to join Ripapalooza and celebrate by ripping some packs. Dan says Palooza, an exaggerated event. Yeah, that's another part of a Palooza. Let's see. John says any wax in that pallet. So far, I've only found one unopened pack of 91 score football, which is ironic because the only unopened wax that was in the last pallet was 91 score football. Actually, this might be 90 score football. Either way, they're both junk. But we'll rip it. Let's see. The painkillers they gave me for the wisdom teeth suck. Ain't made me sleepy or high or nothing. Wisdom's teeth. So I had my wisdom teeth pulled out at how old was I? I had a rough stretch when I was like 18, 19. I had my wisdom teeth taken out, and then like several months later, I had kidney stones. That sucked. My wisdom teeth, I just remember I fortunately did not have bad side effects with my wisdom teeth. I just remember it sucked not being able to eat like hard food for a few days. But I didn't have what's the thing like you could get like dry spots or what's it called? Dry mouth or dry something, dry socket. Fortunately, I didn't get any of that. I just remember being really loopy waking up from the procedure. And then the pills, and I don't do pills. Like I really don't even do like Tylenol for a headache or ibuprofen for a headache. So I took whatever painkiller it was, and it's like I was like focused, and like I was 18 or 19, so I was like less focused then than I am now. But I like could not, and this is why I never read when I was a kid, because I had no focus. I could not focus. And so I took some whatever painkiller that is. Maybe you popped an Addy, not what's the gosh dang it, but I popped whatever that was, and I like read a magazine from like start to finish, and I had like attention, so it's like maybe I probably should have seen a doctor for like ADD or something. Does that surprise you with how many tangents I go? Does any of this surprise you that I lack focus sometimes? So that's whatever painkiller that did for me. Let's see. So where are we at in the chat? Let's see. Jenny said, I had a friend drop off a big box of 90 Tops unopened packs. I thought about putting in Halloween baskets, but then figured the kids would eat the gum and y'all would see me on the news. The only reason I don't eat the gum is I don't know where those packs have been, especially if they're loose packs. Ugh. Like they could have been in like a basement with like mouse poop and like who knows, some chemical was spilled on them. I don't know. So I think the worst. So I choose not to eat the gum. Lollapalooza in the 90s saw all the great bands. Let's see. Andrew says, sounds like a serial killer is trying to send a message with 91 score football. John says, need a painkiller every Tuesday night, apparently. Right. Focus. Take the damn trash out. C&M Collectibles says, you have 20,000 Royals cards, ? I think I can scrounge up 20,000 Cubs cards after you get all the Royals cards ready, or maybe 100 Cubs cards. So I probably do have 20,000 Royals cards, just not sorted. I don't know if I could sort that many. Let's see. There's a box. I think that's a box of Royals. Some of the boxes I have, like when I had all my team sorts, I had this Fleer stickers. I probably have 1,000 to 2,000 sorted Royals right now. Let's see. Percocet, not Percocet. Is there one that starts with an A? Not Adderall, not Percocet. I do have 50,000 Blue Jays. Stupid Chad. And there's another binder. And I think Dan spotted the Blue Jays binder when I took the photo of my loaded up car with all the Goodwill stuff. There were binders of so those binders, and I said, like, usually there's good stuff in the binders. There was good stuff in one binder, not acetaminophen. What's the pain? Now I've got to Google it. Painkiller. Painkiller. Not Oxy. Not hydrocodone. Just start throwing painkiller names out there. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Huh. Maybe it doesn't start with an A. Let's see. Not Oxy, not Percocet. Vicodin. I was way off. Vicodin. That's what I was looking for. Samsonite. I was way off. Vicodin. Let's see. Where we at? Let's see. Baseball Collector, what's up? We just shipped a pallet from West Virginia to Idaho. I have not watched the video yet, Mike, but I did see the West Virginia pop up. I watched one of the videos yesterday. I can't remember which one. Amlodipine, not amlodipine. Mike, I am curious because this is the shirt I'm wearing is a logistics company that we did shipping. I'm curious what a pallet today cost from West Virginia to Idaho, and the reason I ask is you likely used an LTL carrier, FedEx freight, UPS freight, Saia, one of those LTL carriers, and I'm guessing West Virginia to Idaho is not like a straight shot for trucking companies. So I'm guessing that the shipping price was much higher than what it would be to say Chicago to LA or something like that. I am curious what a pallet of would cost from West Virginia to Idaho. Let's see. Are there any good Blue Jays cards from the past? I don't think so, because most of this is junk wax era or into the late 90s. So I'm trying to think who were even like Cecil Fielder, Todd Stottlemyre. Like it's a lot of that stuff. Dave, is it Steeb? I never knew how to pronounce his last name, Steeb or Stieb. who is a really good pitcher, but just not great. Let's see, where are we at? We've got a lot of painkillers. It was Vicodin. Vicodin was the answer we were looking for. John says he needs some things off that pallet. John DeBoard, what's up? Upside down A, I guess. V is an upside down A, right? Let's see. Mike says, I actually don't know. Ty takes care of all that stuff. Scared that pallet would go off and on trucks in various depots, and it absolutely, especially from West Virginia to Idaho, it absolutely, if you're using an LTL like carrier, it would absolutely, probably from West Virginia to Idaho, there's going to be a truck that picks it up. It's going to take it back to the depot. It's going to be put on another truck. They're probably going to take it to who knows where. I mean, gosh, from West Virginia to Idaho, it could be on like 6 or 7 trucks. Although it might not, because it is such a, but it's Idaho. So yeah, it could be, I'm guessing 4 to 7 trucks. It's going to be on 4 to 7 trucks. Let's see. Flawed Thinker says, seems that Ty does everything and Mike is just along for the ride. John Olerud. Yes, John Olerud. 90 Donruss rated rookie. John Olerud. Juan Guzman. We're naming old Blue Jays. So there you go. There's some Blue Jays. So I was picking through the Goodwill Pallet, and John says Rocket Cargo would be the way to go. Great shipping company. I've never used. So we used with the company that I worked for, George Bell, Joe Carter. Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about George Bell. And the Blue Jays won a World Series, right? The Joe Carter year. What? 91, 92, 93, somewhere in there. Can't remember. So we used like, depending on region, we used various companies. We never used Rocket Cargo, just because we probably didn't get good discounted rates. And we were a full truckload. This company specializes in full truckload. So we do LTL shipments, but we don't do like the volume that like a CH Robinson or other third-party companies do. So our rates, sometimes we're not that good. Many times we're not that good. So let's see. John says it was the 1993 World Series, and screw you for bringing it up. Tony Fernandez, Jesse Barfield, I think was a Blue Jay. Let's see. Mike says that scares me to think about all those trucks. It is. I hate LTL. Working in transportation, nightmares. Nightmares. I mean, my company does mail. Like we do a lot of mail. And it can be super frustrating when you have mail. And the mail that would be put on LTL trucks is like your junk mail, not like your first class mail. But we had a mail, first class mail. Driver hit a guy. It was a suicide by truck on the interstate somewhere in Illinois, and they had to the mail was like being kept because it was involved in a death, and so it was being investigated and all that stuff. So there were like first class mail, like paychecks and like important mail being kept, and so it was a nightmare to get that back on the road and get it delivered. So sometimes things like that happen. Like that's something you don't really think about when it comes to your mail, like your baseball cards that aren't delivered on time. Sometimes, like that's why there's no guarantee. Like I don't guarantee anything because there's always something that can happen, especially when you're a truck from West Virginia to Idaho, Chicago to LA, Wisconsin to Florida. Anything and everything can happen. I had a load of one of my clients was like agriculture. Basically, they were a broker for like commodities. And so one of the commodities that I helped set up shipments for was cottonseed from Georgia and Alabama up to Wisconsin, the Green Bay area. And they use cottonseed for dairy cattle. It's like an added it's a filler basically for their food during the winter months for dairy cattle. And so I had a load, and fortunately cottonseed, it's like it's super cheap. I think the entire truckload, 45,000 pounds, was valued at like $4,000. So what happened was the truck driver went down a road that wasn't meant for trucks, and it hit a bridge, and it sheared off the top of the trailer. And then after he got through underneath the bridge, it tipped over. And so there's cottonseed all over the road, and it's not salvageable because this is like food for animals. So there's like metal shavings and stuff. So it can't be, it's got to be thrown away. So I had to line up. And this is when you're working for a third party and you're like aligning from point A to point B. When something like that happens, I also had to align the disposal. So I had to talk to, it was like the city planner or city whatever. I had to talk to the city at like Deerfield, Illinois, suburb of Chicago. And I had to like call the towing company. I had to call the police department. I had to call the city building. We had to get it like taken care of. And then we had to go through insurance. It's just a debacle. So, let's see. John says, put an air tag in that pallet next time. And insurance is a pain in the rear also with LTL. That's what that Mike. That's what I was watching. It was with Marcel. It was the episode with Marcel, and they were talking about the insurance coverage on those unsealed wax. That's what I watched yesterday. Let's see. John says, by the way, I'm TV guy. Awesome. Thank you, John. I need a dedicated hobby account for YouTube. Let's see. Michael, what's up? Good morning. He's in Upper Michigan this morning. Andrew says, is this the ghost story for the day? Yes. That's the ghost story for the scary stories from transportation. John says, by the way, people naming Blue Jays players is great, but there is no collectability in any of those names. And that's why I have 50,000 Blue Jays cards. The TV guy who accused me of advocating high shipping, ? Struck a chord. So I unloaded the pallet. Of cards yesterday. Found some, and I've only scratched the surface. So let's show off something unique. And the good stuff I'll just save for last, because if you saw the thumbnail, you've already seen it. But I've never seen one of these. Remember Spick and Span? And that still might be a thing. Spick and Span card from John's favorite decade. This is Quinn Buckner, who is one of the all-time great Illinois high school basketball players. And then went on to, so he won a high school state championship for, I think, Thornridge. And then went on to play for that undefeated Indiana Hoosiers team that won a championship in '76. Sex bots are here. And then went on to win an NBA championship with, I can't remember who. And I think he won a gold medal, right? Was that '76? I can't remember. But Quinn Buckner, Spick and Span. This is from, thank you, Andrew. 7980 Milwaukee Bucks. Quinn Buckner. So that's cool. Steve Ains, what's up? Go Hoosiers. So, and also, and I love tickets and pocket schedules. Stacks and packs, awkward. So here we've got a Milwaukee Brewers schedule from American Family Insurance. It's even got the local insurance agents, Don Gadzinski and John Knox on East Reed Avenue in Manitowoc. So this is pretty cool. Sponsored by WOMT Radio, CBS Network. Let's see. We've got an 84, another insurance agency, American Family. This is from Manitowoc. Hal Kampke. Now that's an insurance agent name. Hal Kampke. Give old Hal Kampke a call down on Washington Street in Manitowoc. He'll get you covered for some insurance there. So this is a dual schedule. Let's see. Packers and Badgers. Let's see. We've got NFC, AFC schedule. Ooh, old style. Oh man, the back of this is so cool. I love this schedule. I love the art on 70s and 80s stuff. But it gets better when you turn it over. Look at that. Beauty. Look at that little stubby bottle. Old style stub. You've got the fully Krausened, naturally carbonated, old style. Do it with style, right? Do it with style. Oh, sex bots are coming. Here we've got another NFC AFC football schedule from 1981. Blatz, sponsored by Blatz. I had there was a kid, a guy that I went to school with. He was a year older than me, and I think his family name was Blatt. Like his last name was not Blatz, but I think like his mom's family, they were Blatz, and so he like collected Blatz memorabilia. Blatz beer. Taste test. Blatz yourself America's great light beer. I'm sure a lot of people could argue with that sentiment. Now we're going to 86, another insurance. These are boring. Don Gadzinski. He's our insurance agent from Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Give Dan a call. 1986, Milwaukee Brewers. Here we've got, so this guy, he was just going around to all the insurance agents picking up pocket schedules because this is from Steve. Good old Steve in Manitowoc. What kind of insurance did he sell? American Family. Let's see. What now? Wisconsin has great names. Manitowoc, Waukesha, is it Wyabusa? Let's see. What are some other ones? Here we've got Unicol, the old 76 gas station. John says Blatz, right up there with Old Style and Hams. Exactly. And Schlitz. I'm surprised there's not a Schlitz in here. Let's see. Here we've got an 82. This is a True Value sponsored from 1982, which I believe was the year the Brewers went to the World Series, played the St. Louis Cardinals. True Value. Here we've got another Old Style, 1983, coming off that World Series appearance. And we've got Old Style on the back. These are better than the cards. These are better than we've got General Casualty Companies. This is going back to the 70s. We've got a 78, 79. This is Wisconsin. Manitowoc, the Plus Agency. So this is Wisconsin, Marquette, and the Green Bay Packers. So here you go. 1978, 79. And then we've got 1987, sponsored by Century Foods. Blatz at least had a great baseball statue advertising that swill, right? Let's see. And we've got our last one from 1986. I like the Century logo prior to 1987. The 86 is much nicer. Value, quality. That's Century. Nice red and blue. I love that color scheme. Century Food Stores. They should have kept that because then they went to this in 1987. Come on, Century. Ugh. Okay. Oh, wait. But wait, there's more. There's a couple more. Another Old Style. Do it with style. 1984 Milwaukee Brewers. We've got Old Style on the back. Beauty. And one more, I promise. 1983 American League champions, Milwaukee Brewers. We're Good Sports, Milwaukee Brewers, Milwaukee Bucks, and the bowling game. Milwaukee County Stadium. There's pricing. 1983, so nearly 40 years ago, you could go to a Brewers game and you could sit in the mezzanine. Is that the closest? Those are the most expensive tickets. You could sit in the mezzanine, down in the expensive seats. $8.50. $8.50 to see the Milwaukee Brewers down low. Let's see. Wausau, that's another fun. Baraboo, that's another fun Wisconsin city to say. Let's see. So that's just Brewers. $8.50. Now that's cheap, right? So then in the baggie there was a whole stack of Star Wars 1977 Topps cards. So I am familiar with the old C3PO card, so I'm like, oh man, I'm going through and I'm like, oh, I hope the C3PO card's in here. The old goldenrod, the dong, um, and it was the old C3PO dong card. So I haven't decided. It's not in great shape. The corners are dinged. Centering is off. Here I am sounding like a professional grader. Oh yeah, it looks like the corners are off, and oh, the centering 64. Oh, we got a corner ding. So it's in poor condition. But still, these sell raw for like in the $50 range. If they're like this one's probably in the $40 to $50 range. And then they go as high as I saw one sell raw for 90. It was in better condition than this. So I don't know. I may send it to SGC. I've got a comp like, okay, what's the lowest SGC grade dong card of C3PO sell for? Is it worth the extra $19 to get it slabbed? If it's a SGC 1 or 2 and it only sells for $25 where raw sells for 50, then obviously, or if it sells for 60, it's not worth that extra 20. So I've got to do a little more research on the old C3PO dong. That sounds gross. So the binder had some good stuff. Juan Soto, 2018 Bowman Chrome. So not his first, but I think it's his second Bowman Chrome card. Vlad Jr., same year. So I think these sell for, I don't know, like $5. Let's see. We've got a Brock Burke. There were a couple autos in one of the binders, like 3 or 4 autos. This was the best of the bunch. Brock Burke, first Bowman purple, numbered out of 250. I believe he's with the Texas Rangers now. Brock Burke. And then we've got, I haven't priced this out yet, but it's a Yuli Gurriel negative refractor rookie. Not sure what this goes for, but I pulled it out because, well, the Astros are in the World Series. Let's see. And then, yes, Shohei, Bowman rookie. Not sure where these are priced at. Currently, Aaron Judge, rookie. Aaron Judge, Series 1 rookie card. It's in good shape. These were all in binder. These were all in pages, in binders. And then there was a binder page of SI for kids, and this is actually in really good shape. I might look at grading this because there's no creases. It looks like it's been perforated nicely. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll just have to price it out and see. I think they sell raw for about 15. So just in the cards, in the dong, the Jordan, Judge, Ohtani, Gurriel, Otto, and Soto, Vlad, that's about $100 or more in cards there. So the pallet was 500. So and this is just scratching the surface on what I put in a lot of like just $5 and under cards. And these pocket schedules might go for a couple bucks each too. So I think it's off to a much better start than where I was at last month with the pallet number 7. Was kind of a dud. Only the WNBA cards, the autos were moving in that, and just a lot of junk. So yeah. So I'm gonna continue digging to see what I have. I was going through a box. This current box, there's some like serial numbered rookies of like lesser named players from 5, 6, 7 years ago. So maybe there's something nice in there. We'll see. Steve says, yay, Ohtani and Judge. The C3PO is iconic. Let someone else pay to get it graded. The only reason I would pay to get it graded is if it increased the return. So if I got it graded and it comes out like a 2 or 3 and it goes up $50, it's worth my 19 to get it graded. But if a 2 or a 3 or a 1 sells for 50, and that's what I can sell it for raw, or even if $10 or $20 more, if it's only $20 more, I'm not going to pay $19 to get it graded. So that's the strategy I'm going to employ. I did my second submission through 5-star cards last weekend. So it's my second submission. I did 11 cards for SGC, but it's for my own personal Cubs pre-war collection. So I have yet to grade a card for resale. So maybe the Dong C3PO is the first. We'll see. John says, I missed the first 20 minutes. How do you find pallets of cards for sale? Goodwill auctions. Goodwill.com has auctions. You can find them there. Every Goodwill runs differently, though. So there might not be an option near you. That's the thing. Let's see. Rick, what's up? Hit the like button. Thank you. Like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate that. John is taking some to get CSG graded this morning. Straight Execution, what is up? Are there C3PO fakes as well? Thinking you maybe want to grade just to help with buyer confidence. I'm not sure. Seems like there's a fake for everything these days. There might be. Let's see. Cooter says this show started with poop and transitioned to dong. High quality morning entertainment. So that's what I had. Poop talk. We talked about transportation nightmares and Star Wars dongs. So that's what I had for today. I've got some more shipping to do. I've got some more digging through Goodwill Pallet to do. Today's, what day is it? Thursday. Oh, today's Thursday. So today is Thursday. So I was thinking I might go to, actually, I think I might, I'm running low on envelopes. So I may have to do a Costco/Walmart run to get new envelopes. So maybe I'll find some archives. I did see a photo on Twitter of archives retail on the shelf. So got a little excited there. And it was funny because there was 2022 archives right next to 2021 archives that was on an extreme discount. I wonder what an extreme discount is. Probably not too extreme. Stacks and Pack says Bucks and Ravens tonight. I'm not sure I have any interest in that game. I mean, I guess Brady. I did watch some basketball. I've been watching more NBA lately. I watched some NBA last. I watched AEW, but I watched the end of the Bucks game and then whatever game came on after that. But like briefly. It's not like I'm watching full games and I'm like watching intently NBA. I really don't watch anything intently. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Appreciate it. Great chat this morning. We'll be back tomorrow for a Friday free-for-all, 7 a.m. Central. John says Thursday is JV. And it certainly was last week with my Bears. That was an ugly game. Let's see. This weekend, I will have shows Saturday and Sunday. Hobby Evolution probably in the 8 to 9 o'clock hour on both Saturday and Sunday. I'm not doing any card shows this weekend. I've got to go through this palette. I've got stuff to list. So I'm behind. It's like I get like caught up and then I get behind. Get caught up, get behind. So that's the plan. So we'll be on Saturday and Sunday. Next Madison card show. I was a little concerned. The Madison card show, the next one is Saturday, November 19th, which is the week before Thanksgiving. But unfortunately, it's the same weekend as the Chicago Sports Spectacular. I could not avoid that. The Sheraton was not available other weekends. So I wanted to have it the Saturday of Thanksgiving, but the room was not available. So I had to schedule it with the Spectacular. And I know that I have 5 or 6 dealers that set up in Chicago. So I knew that I would lose a couple regular dealers to Chicago. But and I had a dealer drop from 2 tables to 1. I had a regular dropout last month, so I'm like, oh man, I might have to go to one room in November. But all of a sudden, I've had a lot of some more first-time dealers that are going to set up. So it looks like I'll have another sellout show, so that's good. And we'll have some different dealers, some new dealers. It'll look different. You won't see some of the regulars because they'll be in Chicago, but you'll see some new dealers throughout the show. So that's always something I like to strive for is getting a nice mix of dealers each month. So Saturday, November 19th, Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. If you are interested in setting up, tables are available. It's free admission for those that come check out the show. So should be some good stuff in November. So now I'm done talking. Have a great day. Like and subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow.